You know Power BI, but still you have lots of questions in your mind. How does it happen? Why it happens? How can I do that? This is the series for you. Subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to get the notifications. Hello and welcome to another episode of Abstract Thesis series, and in today's video we are going to discuss a really dynamic top N using field parameters, numeric parameters and calculation groups. So let's look what exactly I mean and how we are going to achieve it. So as you can see here, I have a axis which is dynamic. I can change it. If you see in the brand, I can change its brand or I can change it category wise. Now, even if I change brand, it is showing me top 3. And you can see if I sort here, the category 2, category 1 and category 4 should come. Category 1, 2 and 3 is coming. That's what is coming here. If I go to the brand, then you can see category 8, category 13 and category 11 is coming. And I can change it to margin percentage, and margin percentage, there are different categories which are coming. Now here I'm showing top 3, I can change it to top 5 and I'll start getting top 5. So number of in the top N is dynamic, the major is dynamic, and I can uncheck all the majors and you can see dynamic top N of each of these one. Now category I only have 5, so I can make it change it 3 and I can make it again here. Category, the axis I can make as category, and when I make it, you can see that all of them I'm getting as top 3. So top 3 of gross, top 3 of margin, top 3 of margin percentage, top 3 of net, and top 3 of discount percentage, and this could be different. So it is basically dynamic axis, dynamic measure, dynamic number for the top N. This entire stuff is really dynamic. So we would like to create it. For this, what I've done is I have taken the help from the field parameters, where I created the axis and I created the slicer, and then I also created a top N measure using the calculation group. So let's begin this journey. We'll take up a new file, and that particular file we will try to set up this. Okay, so I've taken this new file. In this file I'm going to set up this. So first of all, what I need a dynamic axis and numeric parameters. So I already have a numeric parameters. I'll just tell you how I created this. Okay, so how do I created a numeric parameters? I went to the modeling tab, numeric parameters, new parameter, numeric parameter, and in the numeric parameter I have given the name which is top N number. So here I have given it as top and number, and then I say whole number 1 to 20, default value as 5, and then I say created, and once I created this, it's going to create another one which I'm going to delete, and it also added it on the page. So let me delete because I already have these 2 of them, so I would like to keep one, but I'll tell you what actually it has created. It actually is created a table with the generate series. It creates a column. The generate series is going to create a column. That's the column which we have here. And then we have the selected value measure which is created top and number 5. The defaulted value 5 is coming from this selected value top and number. So let me delete, I don't need too many of that. So let me delete it from the model. I can work with one top and number. Okay, so we can work with this, and we can do one thing. We can drag this column here and we can remove this. Let me cross this visual, bring in top N again. So now we have top N with us. Now we can make it top 3. Now what second thing I need is axis, dynamic axis. So for dynamic axis, let's go to the modeling tab again, new parameters, field parameters. So what we are going to call it, axis. And what all we need in axis, now there I have shown you 2, but let's have more here. So let's have brand, category, and let's also take state and city. So we have taken 4 of them now. Previously we have taken 2 of them. So we have, and there was an option added to this page, so we have kept it checked. So it's added it here. Otherwise also, if you wanted to add, let's say if you don't check that option, you can drag the axis here. You can make it as a slicer and you will get the same option. Fine. So let me delete this. I don't need it. Remove it. Now next thing what I need is, I need the dynamic measures also. So again, I'm going to go to the modeling, field parameters, new parameters, field parameters, and here I'm going to call it as a major. What majors I'm going to drag? I'm going to drag few majors out here. So I go to my base majors and I drag all of them. And we can actually change the positioning right now here itself. Okay. This count is missing, I think. Okay, fine. Let's have whatever we have. Fine. So we got this one. And again, there was a checkbox which we kept checked. So it is added here also. So we got all these discount percentage majors also. So we have axis and we have major, and how we used to create a dynamic visual. So what we used to do is we used to go to a table visual or a matrix visual or maybe a matrix visual. We used to go and put the axis on the row, and we used to go and put majors on the values. And we are getting all of them now, these kind of things. And then what we can do is we can basically check one of these and we'll get that particular major. Now what objective we have is basically I want a top end. But remember, if I change the axis, my top end should change based on the axis. And those of you who follows my blogs might have seen how we done it in the past uh, in the Medium blog. Now what I need to do is I'm going to create something here first, and then we are going to convert that into a calculation group. So what I need a measure which can take the numeric number, which can take this one and which can take this one. So what I've decided that I'm going to take a Windows function for that. Okay, so I go to the page here and I already have a dynamic top n here. So that dynamic top n using the Windows is there. So top n Windows we already created in one of the videos. So let's look at that top n Windows, how we create it. So how do we create a top n in the Windows? So we say calculate a major, then we say Windows. So let me do one thing. Let me create this top n again using the Windows for you, and then we are going to use it. Fine. So we want to create a top n, and to create a top n we want to use not the top n function, the Windows function. So let's create a top n first, and we are going to call it dynamic top n. How do we create dynamic top n? So we say calculate net, and then we use Windows function. Now in window function, if you want a major sorting on a major, then you need to only use in the from and to both, you have to use absolute. If you want to do relative position, and you can watch my older videos for that, if you want the relative position, then the sorting will not happen on the major. Fine. So to achieve this, I'll say start with 1 or 0. I can say absolute. Then I want to stop somewhere, so I can say top 3. So I have to give this absolute 3 position here. So don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is basically I want to have the top and num value. So top and num value I want to do there, and I want to again go till absolute root. Now I got this. Now I need to give the relationship. So relationship I'm going to give summarize all selected sales. Then I want, now here I need to do right now item brand, because let's say I want it on item brand. So I will say item brand, and then that is what we have to change now. So I say item brand here, and then I have to create a major here, which let's say underscore net or something. I can give a particular name, and then I choose a major net. Right now I'm choosing a major net just to showcase you the top n. So I got a summarize. Next thing I need is an order by. So I need to use the order by function. In that order by, I'm going to use underscore net. Then I close the windows. I don't want to use partitioning here, and I want to click net here. Now, right now my dynamic city of the top n is only based on this number. Nothing else is dynamic here. Okay. So we created a dynamic top n. Let's bring in here and understand what it is doing. So we bring in dynamic top n. Okay. Now this is showing some value which is basically different from this, because what is happening, it gives me the top 10 value. It doesn't filter the top 10. So to filter that, I'm going to use keep filters here. And once I use the keep filters, Now it gives me top 10, and let me sort on the net. Now once I sort on the net, you can see that I'm getting top 3 values. Now why it is top 3 which is not coming the bottom 3? The reason is in the order by we need to give the descending. So now I give the descending in the order by. Now my top 3 is basically, once I get this, it's now top 3, not the bottom 3. Now can I get other than 3, can I get 4? Yes. Now what happens if I change it to category? So when I change it to category, this is not going to work. Its brand, it is working, its category, it might not work. Now to do that, I need to know my selected value of my axis. Now selected value function doesn't work on field parameters. So for that, I'm going to create a selected axis measure, and this is going to be a little bit different. And I have done that in my blogs also and in the past videos also. So selected axis. So what is my selected axis? My selected axis is nothing but max x. Then we need to filter what? The axis, where axis dot axis order equals to max axis dot axis order. So I am going to only consider one. Okay, even if there are more than one, we are going to consider one. So we should make it single select ideally. And then we say give us the axis name. So it cannot directly give me the axis name. So that's what I'm doing. And I think I need, yeah. Let me give the table name also here. Making sure that we are doing the right stuff. Now I got a selected axis measure. Let me see, is it giving me the right value? So I bring it here. And I convert it into a card visual. So it's saying brand. Now if it is category, it is showing category, state, it is state. And ideally I should make it single select. Right now I'm keeping it like this, but it should be single select. So selected axis is there. Now we go to the dynamic top end and we say, okay, we need to change this code. So how we are going to plan to change this code? We are going to say switch. And we are going to say selected axis. And in the selected axis, what we are going to say, if it is brand, then you can have this code, isn't it? Now I need to repeat this exercise for each one of them. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show it for you category, because I'm going to, so let me show it for all of them. Okay. So little bit of change required everywhere. So when I do category, what all I need to change here, instead of brand, I need to say category. Okay. Then I need to repeat this exercise, isn't it? So I need to repeat this exercise for state and city. And what I need to do here is basically, it's not going to be item category anymore. It's going to be geography, state, and here it's going to be geography, city, isn't it? And the rest of the things is going to remain same. So now let's commit this dynamic top n. Let us see what happens when we change the values. Now when I change it to category, you still see top 4. Now we have converted it into top 4. You are still seeing top 4. State, again you are seeing top 4 state. Look at the values. They are already descended, sorted, and you are seeing those values. Now when I go to city, you see the top 4 cities. Okay. So dynamic top n we have created, and dynamic top n is giving me 4. Now, but the thing here is, even if I take gross or even I take a margin percentage, this top n is not changing. I want it to take the selected measure and change it. Again, my measure should be single select in this case. I made it multi-select, but ideally speaking, the measure should be single select. Now, but when we going to create a calculation group, we will be able to manage it with multiple selected measures. That's where the advantage of the calculation group is going to come out. Now, one way is that I write down same way selected measure, and for each brand and selected measure comparison, I can write down the code. But what I thought, why don't I do this thing that I create a calculation group and there I use this? That might make my life little bit easy. So what I've done is basically I went to the external tools and I decided to take help from the tabular editor. It opened the tabular editor for me. Now I have opened it for both the files. So let me, okay. So I got my tabular editor. Now in the tabular editor, let me open the tables and I right click and say create new calculation group and I call it select measures. Then I am going to create only new one calculation item, that is selected measure. Now I don't need many items here because I don't want to do lot of coding, and I paste that same calculation here. Now when I paste this same calculation here, and let me do a little bit of formatting exercise here, not that much of formatting I'm doing. Now what I want here is I don't want this net, I want the selected measure here. That's what I can use in the calculation group. And same way when I'm going to do it here again, instead of net I want the selected measure. So I will not be able to change this entire code of selected axis, but here instead of measure I can always say selected measure. And once you see that in the blue color, now I am using the tabular editor too, so there you might not get suggestion. So I copy it and I paste it at all the 4 places. Now here also I am using in the summarize all selected, I am using a measure which I am using in the order by. There also I need to go and choose the selected measure because we want to sort it on the selected measure, isn't it? So now everywhere it is selected measure. See, I am only, and this is the alias. We in the summarize we have given a new alias to the net. So that is what we are sorting descending. So selected measure everywhere, and we are doing the now on each one of them we are doing the top n. Now the formula seems right. Let's save it. Once we save it, let's come back here, and after coming back we'll say refresh now. Once we refresh, you will not see anything. We have to go here below. And we got this selected measure. Now I click here and in the column I put this name of the selected measure. Okay. And now let me remove this and I can have any measure right now. Fine. So this is the measure. Now you can see this is, let me remove all of them. So now you can see that, I have gross, net, everywhere the top 4 is coming based on the, see, net's top 3 is coming, gross top n 3 is coming, cogs top 4 is coming. So everybody's top 4 is coming basically. Margins top 4 is coming. Margin percentage top 4 is coming, and discount percentage also top 4 is coming. Okay. And they are coming by city. Now I go by state. They are coming the top 4 by state. Okay. Now if I choose only cogs, I get only cogs. Now you would like to say, can you make me somewhere looking at a better stage where I can make a decision whether it is top or not. So let's bring in selected axis in one more measure, and selected measure also, the measures also here, let's bring in. Let's bring in axis. Let's bring in axis. We say gross, we are getting gross. Let's sort on this. So state, what are the top 3? California, Texas, Florida, Arizona, top 4. Okay. California, Texas, Arizona, Florida. City, what are the top 4? You can see all these top 4 here also. Categories 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorting, only 5 is not there. Brand 11, 13, 5, 8. Top 5 is 8, 13, 11 and 5. Now the sorting is something which you can sort out here. So now what is happening? This is dynamic. I can make it 3. Measure is dynamic. Axis is dynamic. How much top I need, that is also dynamic. And we used calculation group and we also used field parameters. We have combined all of them to get a really, really dynamic visual. Now only thing is basically, unless you select all the measures, you're not going to show the name, and that's where we can have like, what we are displaying here, like something like this, or we can use the name in the title to get that kind of help. But it gives us really, really dynamic possibilities of getting top n with the different axes, with the different measures and different number all together in one visual. So go ahead and try this out, the really dynamic visual, and do let me know what else you want me to cover in this particular series. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you. Keep watching, keep asking questions in comments, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you can get notification for new videos. Thank you.